when it comes to julienning a carrot, like this is where it gets kind of into French laundry territory. So this is hard to chop. He's like all over the place. He is like wibbling, wobbling, rolling away. Like, look at that, he's out of here, right? He'll do the same thing when you try to cut him. I don't know why this carrot is a man. I've just decided it's a man. So yeah, carrots will just roll away when you want to cut them. And that makes them really dangerous to chop, especially when you're trying to do like fine cuts. So we're gonna generate a little bit of food waste. I'll show you how to avoid it, but I'm gonna show you like the main method first. So I'm gonna cut this carrot in half. I'm gonna take this thicker part and I'm actually gonna square this carrot off a little bit. So I've got this piece over here. Now I've got a stable carrot. I'm gonna square off a little bit more. Put that over here. Turn it again. Square it off again. Oop, turn it over here. And square it off again. Now what we've got is basically a square, right? That looks good. This is like a fair amount of food waste over here. I'm not gonna get rid of it, but this is the general method on how you do this, right? So julienne is generally about 2 inches. Like we're not shooting for like exactly 2 inches right now because I'm not teaching you French laundry chopping, I'm teaching you home chopping. At some point I may actually develop like a fine cooking knife skills video, but for now I just wanna get you the basics. So I'm gonna cut this guy in half, so it's roughly 2 inches. I'm gonna set this aside. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make little slices. Now, julienne is 1/8 of an inch, right? Then if I remember correctly, battnet is 1/4 inch, and then you've got like, they're called like sticks, right, which are 1/2 inch. But we're gonna do julienne. So you can do this in 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, whatever you need. But for this particular demo, we're gonna do 1/8 of an inch. So we've got our knife held properly, just like this, thumb, forefinger gripping the very neck of the knife. We've got our finger and a claw, and we go for an 1/8 inch slice. 1/8 inch is kind of tough, I'll admit it. Like people can go 1/16 of an inch, it's kind of ridiculous. It just takes a little bit of practice. The more you chop, the more confident you'll feel in these small, tiny slices. So we've got these 1/8 inch slices, and then you're gonna get to a point, see how the carrot's wobbling back and forth? I'm not gonna chance that. Carrots are just, you know, they're shaped like a cone, right? And so when you get to that point, you can turn it around a little bit, but if you notice the carrot wobbling, it's just not worth it. It's not worth cutting yourself. So we're gonna take these little guys and we're going to chop them again in 1/8 inch slices. We're gonna use our knife to shore them up. We're gonna go 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. Whoop, that one was a little more than 1/8 of an inch. And let's see if we can get one more. Nope. See, that's not safe. Like I should have stopped chopping it. That's a little bit of a problem. Now you can look and see these guys, these are like what was left. But these are perfect little juliennes. Look at that. I think they look great. They're almost perfect little cubes. And then what we can do is we can take this down to cubes, right? Which are called, if I remember correctly, Brunoise, which is a French word. So we're going to pull off this peel that's hanging out. We're gonna shore these up against the blade of the knife. Boop. And we're going to keep chopping. Chop 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. And the smaller the cuts get, like the more the carrots will stick to the blade and they'll stick to your fingers and stick to everything. These are kind of an impractical cut, but I like to show you how to cut these because they can be really useful and they can be really pretty in a salad. We're gonna move these off to the side and I wanna show you what to do with these guys. Now we cut these off and I don't like food waste. We don't have to waste these. Like we just treat them like we did the rest of the carrot. We're actually gonna cut them in half because they're really long, and then we're going to stack them like that. And we've got our hand and a claw, and we are going to chop 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, and there we go. These are a little bit more of an 1/8 of an inch because they're kind of like, these pieces are kind of like unevenly shaped because they're the edges. And this is why like at the French Laundry or wherever fine restaurant, like they don't usually use these pieces because they're imperfect and you cannot have imperfect carrots at the French Laundry, apparently, but whatever. So these will work. I mean, these will still look great in a salad. Like they do their job, and then you just keep dicing them up, and you've got little diced carrots. Alrighty, we've cleaned off our workspace, and now I'm gonna show you sticks and medium dice. So I've got the other piece of carrot that I squared off. We're just gonna do 1/4 inch slices. So it's the exact same thing as a julienne, they're just a little bit thicker, right? So we've got our slices, we're going to stack them up, make sure they're stable, and go down 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. Now we've got just bigger sticks, right? We're gonna dice them, we're gonna stack them all up, shore them up against the edge of the knife so they're flat and we're working from an even surface. And we're gonna keep chopping. Straighten up, you guys, come on, get with the program. And we're gonna go 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. Now, it's important to notice that carrots and pretty much every other vegetable, they're a little slippery. So it's super important that you go slow, right? If you start chopping something and it slips, if you're moving slowly, you can just stop applying pressure, right? And you won't cut yourself. If you're trying to haul ass through your carrot and it slips, you're like, and there goes like your knuckle, your fingernail, whatever, right? It's no bueno. I'm gonna keep saying it 1,000 times. Go slowly. Speed will naturally develop the more you chop. You will just naturally begin to chop more quickly as you have more practice. But don't ever try for speed. This is not a competition. It's not worth a finger. Go slow, be precise, and the speed will come.